Let's tie up a couple of inyanim here. Huge yisoidus and huge chidushim that we have here. Parachav Nefesh Hachaim, so we learned that the Nefesh Hachaim's version of Teshuva. And the first thing he said, I just want to go over it, is that the Iker of Teshuva, Az al-yedei vidui dvarim be'emes miyum kedeliba, that when a person says vidui, meaning it's not so much about the charot ala avar, kabbalah ala asad, of course, that's the ingredients of Teshuva, but kishiyasa Teshuva, when you're doing Teshuva, tzarech lisfados. And the Iker of Teshuva, and the Rambam says as Nefesh, is vidui. Tasi, abisi, pasati. Miyumka deliba ba'kimas sefasa b'chinas nefesh deruach, and we explain that the pshat vidui, why vidui is that, why is that the most important? It sounds like the most unimportant part of Teshuva. The most important part of Teshuva is the change that we go through, the transformation that we go through, the transformation of Teshuva. But the Rambam and Nefesh Hachaim is expanding on is the Iker of Teshuva is the vidui. And the reason the Iker of Teshuva is vidui is that he's saying something different than Rabbi Yoina says in Shari Teshuva. Rabbi Yoina in Shari Teshuva learns that the Iker of Teshuva is that we change. The whole book is about change. It's a beautiful book, and I don't want to lower it by saying it's a self-improvement book, but it's Shari Teshuva is a beautiful program of change. Vidui is not about the change. The change is to make ourselves into a Klali, which is roy for Teshuva. What does it mean? It means that, as we keep on explaining, that we have here, we're living with our nefesh. A person's nefesh includes everything, hadam hu ha-nefesh, everything from my physicality all the way to my psychology, to my emotions, to my personality. That's all goes into teres ha-nefesh. But the nefesh unto itself could be nefesh ha-bahamis. The nefesh connects to a higher place, which is called the ruach. Balatanya calls that place of connection the nefesh alekis. And from there, from the ruach, it goes back, it goes up to the neshama. So the real tshuva is like the Zohar says in the Tikkunim, tashuv, hey, tshuva, tashuv, hey. You're putting everything back in realignment, the hey. We'll explain actually in the Hago why hey is tshuva. But tashuv, hey, you're taking the nefesh and you're realigning it with the ruach. That place of connection, the place of not transformation, the toggle between nefesh and ruach is ayidei dibur. Dibur is that which is on the cusp of ruach and nefesh. Ruach, ma'alallah, that which allows us to speak, is what differentiates us from all the other animals in the world. And higher than that is machshava, but the dibur is chelik min ha-nefesh v'chelik min ha-ruach. So when I say vidui, what I'm doing is I'm taking kishiyasa tshuva. I made all the changes that I need to make, and now I say vidui. Now that I've created this wonderful, wonderful nefesh, this wonderful, wonderful machine, this Klali, I'm now hooking it up to the power, and I'm hooking it up to ruach. Ayidei vidui, because vidui is the deep word which connects the nefesh to the ruach. Very, very important yesod. Where Rabbi Yoina is learning that the Iker of Teshuva is sort of going in a downward position. Haber is taking us into a better nefesh. The Chaim Volozhin is pointing out that, I don't know if they're arguing or what, but there's another aspect of Teshuva of taking this nefesh, and it's not a runaway train. It's going against all of the cutoffs that take place every time we do a chet. See, kares is almost a complete cutoff. But every chet is a little bit of kares. Every chet disconnects us a little bit from the ruach. So now, what happens is, through tshuva, my nefesh is reconnecting to my ruach, specifically through vidui, because vidui is through dibur. So what dibur does, see, it's such an important thing, because tefillah, according to Jewish tradition, has to be b'dibur. Divrei Torah, according to, let's say, the Balatanya, the Rav Shulchan Aruch Hilchos Talmud Torah. It's not good enough just to be Maharer b'divrei Torah. You have to be Medaber b'divrei Torah. Lashon of the Nusach Haris, Asher Kichanu v'Mitzvayis v'Tzivanu al divrei Torah. Not lasik b'divrei Torah, but al divrei Torah. Dvar. Vayidaber Hashem al Moshe Leimor. The reason for all this is, the reason why Dibur is so important is because Dibur connects the Nefesh to the Ruach.
Why does he say Akim Asfasa, seemingly leaving out the Ruach?
The Ruach of it. Because he's talking about the lower level of Dibur, which is part of the Dibur, which is part of the Nefesh. So the Maisa of Dibur has to do with Akim Asfasa. The Ruach is what gives it Koach, right? So so look at Dibur. There's a new way of looking at Dibur. Dibur is a connection between Nefesh and Ruach. That's where it connects, in the Dibur. Or, that's where it disconnects, by the way, because if a person abuses their Koach HaDibur, boom, like your Nefesh and Ruach. That's why Dibur is so important. You have to understand, like, when you talk Lashon Hara, Kulam Nechsholim Ba'avak Lashon Hara. When you talk Lashon Hara, you're using, what's going on here is you're using the Ruach of Hashem, and you're using it for Dibur, or you're taking the Nefesh and using the Dibur, which should be connecting, and you're disconnecting with that very same Ruach. It's the Chomer Achet. It's the Chomer Achet. And that, we know, gives unbelievable kohos to the Klipa. It's a bad thing. Lashon Hara is a bad thing. So let me just give me a minute. Bamas it explains a little bit our parsha, the Parshas Kisavai, because when you bring Bikurim, you stand in front of the Kohen and you say Arami Oived Avi V'yer Mitzrayma, and that's called Vidui Bikurim. It's called in Chazal Vidui Bikurim. Not really saying Vidui. But what you're doing with the Bikurim, there's also Vidui Meiser. What you're doing with the Vidui is saying over what our Chatoyim are, is just one way of connecting the Nefesh to the Ruach. But another way of connecting the Nefesh to the Ruach, maybe even a more profound way, is by coming into Eretz Yisrael and planting a field. And the very first thing that grows out of that field, I'm bringing to the Kohen, I'm giving to Hashem. Coming to Eretz Yisrael, being in Eretz Yisrael, is the ultimate Hishamshus Hatoiv Shel HaNefesh. You can't. This is the goal of everything. Am Kadosh comes to Eretz HaKadosh. Unbelievable. But it's all it's doing. All Eretz Yisrael is the Nefesh Ham, Nefesh Yehudi. Right? It's the Nefesh. Now, how do you take that Nefesh and connect it to a much higher place of Ruach? The answer is bring the Bikurim and say Vidui. Bring the Meiser and say Vidui. Connected Ayidei Dibur. It's the Dibur which is connecting the land, the Gashmias, the earth, the plows, the furrows, the seeds, connecting them to a higher place of Ruach. That's done Ayidei Vidui. There has to be a Dibur element in this. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is you say, Moda ani lefanacha. Nice, of course, thank you. But it's a deeper thing than that. It's Vidui, Moda. Ani modelacha, Vidui, Moda, same word. The idea of waking up in the morning, my first call to action is connect my Nefesh, Moda ani lefanacha, Chazarta binishmasi b'chemla rabba emunasecha. I'm taking and I'm connecting back to my Neshama. My Neshama is here. My Nefesh is here. It's sleeping. I open up my eyes and I say, B'dibur, Dafka, can't be Baharer. Even before I wash Nagelvasser, I say, Moidani lefanecha, Vidui. Vidui. So it's a Vidui that you say in the morning. It's also called Vidui. So it's not just Hakar Satoiv. Of course, there's Hakar Satoiv. Todah. It's not just a Hakar Satoiv. It's a connection. It's using my nefesh and my ruach together. Now, I'm sorry. What did you want to say? Want to say something?
I wanted to ask you, that like when Eli saw Chana moving her lips, was there a breath also? Is it ma'akev? There's no. If you're just moving your lips with no breath.
The
In Teshuva.
it says before in the pasuk, "Koila Neshama." You saw Akimas Vasayim
Mm-hmm.
without kol. Maybe Kolisha. Maybe she didn't want to.
Maybe she heard her own voice.
But she heard her own voice. So it's a very complicated halacha, if you will, because on the one hand, I'm talking in Shemona Esrei. So if you do Akimas Vasayim, v'lo shama lo oznav lo yotza. Can't just be mahar. Mitzad Sheni, the Zohar says, if anybody else hears your Shemona Esrei, see people down in Shemona Esrei a little bit too loud, you know. If somebody else hears your Shemona Esrei, Hashem doesn't hear it.
Then it broke
So what's the shot? Like what do we so makbid? So it could be alert that it's disturbing other people, but no. Even if you're in a room where everybody's playing poker, they can't hear your Shemona Esrei. Hashem doesn't hear it because it's a very private thing of my dibur connecting to my ruach. Whereas if it's heard out, then there's a leak in the ruach, and everybody else is hearing it, so it's taking away. It's supposed all power goes to connecting the nefesh to the ruach, and that's so much of chumash and so much of Yiddishkeit and so much of halacha is all based on the inyan of dibur, and hear her lav kedibur done. There's a machlokes we learned whether Akimas Vasayim has a din of dibur or it doesn't have a din of dibur. It's a machlokes in the Gemara. We learned Rabbi and Reish Lakish. Does Akimas Vasayim have a din of dibur or doesn't have a din of dibur? So there you have a case. So the reason why they're arguing is because it's right on the gvul. It's gvuli. It's right on the gvul of nefesh and ruach.
Is he taking a position here that it's Shmadi?
Ayidei Akimas Vasayim.
Rabbi?
Yeah.
This may be a side question, so we should decide if necessary. Adam Arishon named the animals, the Dibor. He gave them names, which is their essence even. How does this idea relate to man's relationship with animal kingdom, the whole natural world?
I can only guess that the reason why this had to be done before is what he was actually doing. Why was this his job? They could have been born just with a T-shirt on, you know. I am giraffe. The reason is because what Adam Rishon was doing is he was connecting the whole world to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that has to be Al Yidei Dibur and Al Yidei Diburai Dafka Shel Adam.
Very good. So it's going to say just along the same lines. Could it not be in the sense that the way that the Bria came about was the Kodesh Baruch Hu created the world with the Dibur, and essentially when it comes down to doing Averas, so we're destroying the world. And here,
Let's back up a little bit. In other words, we spoke about this about Sarim Amaris Nivra. Kodesh Baruch Hu used Dibur, and he blew into our nostrils, and we had Dibur. So it's the Dibur of Hashem. Our Dibur is deeper than our Dibur is the Dibur of Hashem. You know, there's a reason why we're created with Tzelem Elohim, because we are the ambassadors here in this world. So we need to have that koach, and we need to talk, because if we don't talk, then we can't finish Hashem's work. And naming the animals, of course, was a small part of it, but all of the Tikkun Olam is all happening through Dibur. Jews are good with Dibur. They don't always use it for good, but they're good with it. You know, and the shot is this is a gift. It's a gift of Dibur, which is there to be Masak in the Bria. Now, that's point one. Point two is if we look over here, I just want to be Medayik and Lashon a little bit. What happens? Ma'or b'kol dvarim shalais. It's not just Akimas Svasa. Bechinas nefesh deruach. Akimas Svasa is out bechinas nefesh deruach. Ma'or b'kol dvarim shalai. That's A-A-E-A. Ad la'ela u'la'ela. Somebody pointed out, was it you, that's the pshat in the Kaddish. La'ela min kol v'chasa v'shirasa. Yiskada v'yiskada shmei Rama, v'alma divra kirusei. Think of the words, v'yamlich malchusei. And all of this goes, la'ela u'la'ela mikol v'chasa v'shirasa. This goes up, 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 up. So again, remember this picture in your mind, memorize this picture in your mind, that the Teshuva is going up, la'ela u'la'ela. How far up? So we know about the nefesh attaches to the ruach through dibur, the ruach attaches to the neshama. Leila. But look, the goyim sheis atzel toisefes kedusha mimenu yisbarach shmai. What's happening here is that now there's a new energy of life, of kedusha, which is coming down the pipe. Once I realign, I'm not just realigning and getting what's there. What's there might have gotten blown away. What I'm getting is a whole new ruach. It's a gift from Hashem. It's a pillow. A gift from Hashem that, okay, this guy did Teshuva. This guy realigned. I'm going to give a whole new koach from Shemayim. In b'makom shebalei Teshuva oimdim ein tzadikim gemurim yicholim lamoid sham. This is a whole new koach. Who has this koach? It's like a whole new, a katan shenoila. We always talk about a katan shenoila. This morning we talked about it, the Var Halacha, that on Erev Rosh Hashanah, Erev Yom Kippur, you're supposed to teufel. The pshat is because, like the Shulchan Aruch says in Yeridea, that if a person chas v'shalom does a big avera, let's say some Jew goes and becomes a Tibetan Buddhist, maybe it's Avodah Zarah, and become Baal Tshuva. That's that. It's a teufel. Once you have any kesher with Avodah Zarah, you have to teufel. Besides for everything else, you have to teufel. So there's a ruach. Nachain Chadesh B'Kirbi, that's Tefillah has to do with that also, with the whole new Ruach. But that's the pshat that when I realign, I'm getting something more than what I had even before I did the Chet. Remember I spoke about how the hay open on the bottom and you can get back in through the top? And the Gemara asks, just go back in, what do you have to go around the top? It's new, it's a new thing. This is a new angle because I'm getting something new. And that's why about Teshuva has whole new koiches. What I started saying is I was thinking about a ger is katan shenayla, about Teshuva is like a katan shenayla, a yom ha'chuppah is katan shenayla. Well, I start thinking, you get a little older, you start thinking, what does it mean like a katan? A katan has endless energy. I watch like little grandchildren running around. Where do they have the koach? It's like a new car, The body's working, everything's going good. The heart, Baruch Hashem, is good. The brain is good. Everything is good. Maybe not fully developed, but good. And they can go and go and go and go to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep. I only want to go to sleep. What's the pshat? The pshat is that kikatan shnela. This is about tshuva. Anybody who becomes a Baal Tshuva, like he doesn't want to go to sleep. Just wants to keep on going and going and running and running and running and do. It becomes all of a sudden the job of I think the wrong job of the person who's makar of the Baal Tshuva to say, slow down, take it easy, let them go, let them run around. Kids are kids, let them play. It's gewaldic, like to use that tremendous koach. But where does it go? V'gorim shitzatzel toisefes kedusha mimenu yisbarach shmai ad shirish haneshama tchila. Listen to the words. Very, very important words here. Chaim Volozhin spent hours on every word. So you do it. Ad shirish haneshama tchila umisham lenishmasai v'ruchai. So there's another step here. Don't miss the step. It goes first to the shirish haneshama, and from the shirish haneshama, it goes ad shirish haneshama tchila. That's not your neshama. Umisham l'nishmasai v'ruchai v'nafshai. So it goes even higher than your neshama. In other words, when you're realigning, you're accessing something and contributing something. It's not just like we've been learning here, nefesh, ruach, neshama. No. Here's a fourth step. In one word, he was machadish does. Nefesh, ruach, neshama, shoyresh haneshama. What is that? Oh, so it says the Gemara in Yoma. Amar Reish Lakish. I'm sorry, Amar Rabbi. Rabbi Meir. So interesting that this was Rabbi was on a completely Ein B'darik Rabbi Meir. The Gemara says Vein Halacha K'maisa. He was a Chad B'dar. Rabbi Meir. It was a Chad B'dar. It was on a completely different level, but we don't paskin like him because Psak is here, and he was here. So Zucker Meir, so many things, once you understand this about Rameir, and how he even learned from Acher because he saw something different. He didn't look at his mice, he saw something different. He saw something different in his neshama. He was looking differently. I believe his wife taught him this. Because the Gemara says that there was Hani Beryune Dahavi B'Shvuvosei de Rabbi Meir. There was a bunch of gangsters in Rabbi Meir's neighborhood, and Rabbi Meir was davening for them. They should all drop dead. A lot of people like that. I mean, it's a common tefillah, you know. Just, and yeah, almost shit. Particularly my neighbors. The brewery, so we davening that they should all drop dead. Daven they should do tshuva. Like, why do you have? I mean, agreed. This is not. They're not Peseder, but daven they should do tshuva. So the Marsha, and all the Poskim, all the Mepharshim, they all want to know, like, what does it mean? Daven. I should daven. You should do tshuva. But a person is bechira. I should daven. You should do tshuva. Bishlag I daven. I should do tshuva. So that's a part of my tshuva. Marsha is kasha, brachas. But how do I daven? Somebody else should do tshuva. So the answer is, and Rameir was makabel this from Buria's wife, and he davened that they should do tshuva, and they did tshuva. The Kavanas of the Arizal in this Sarshari Gilkul tells us even who they were. Tell me to Rameir. But you don't know their names. Tell me to Rameir, they're all a bunch of gangsters. So Arami Oivedov, just keep that at the back of your head. What Rameir learned to do, and it was the same Rameir that went, okay, now I can learn from Elisha ben Avuya also. Is what he learned to do is, and this is what he says in Yuma Pevav, I think it's the last Amud of Yuma. He says, Gedoy l'tshuva, Gil, Shemagas ad kisei hakavod. What in the world does that mean? It was only one of a number of statements that he made, I think 7 statements. Gedoy l'tshuva, Shemagas ad kisei hakavod. Gedoy l'tshuva, Shemevi refuah lo'olam. Gedoy l'tshuva, Shekol ha'olam kulay. Moichlan lay alcohol. That's the real palate. I do tshuva, everyone gets mechil. What's the nakuda here? So let's just dwell for a moment on the hard one. Rameir. Gedoy l'tshuva, first simple pshat, shemagas had kisei hakavod. Kisei hakavod is the world of neshamas, but not just the world of neshamas, my prati neshama. We know that there was a neshama, Hashem, the way it works, and we know this because we're told, there was a neshama Klali that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made. I'm going to make man, Olam of Bria, I'm making mankind. Neshama Klali. In Kabbalistic literature, there's the confusing idea of Adam HaKadmon, not Adam HaRishon, Adam HaKadmon. I'm going to make man. That's a neshama Klali. From here, it'll break up into all kinds of pieces, you and me, our wives, our husbands. Like that's the pieces of the puzzle. But there's one big neshama Klali. So that's what Rabbi Meir meant when he says that Gedoy l'tshuva shemagas ad kisei hakavod, because the kisei hakavod is bria, and the kisei hakavod under tachas kisei hakavod is all of the neshamas of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, particularly. So everybody's comes from that kisei hakavod. My tshuva is not just going, okay, here's my nefesh, here's my ruach, here's my neshama, here's the neshama klali tachas kisei hakavod. My tshuva is magas. How far up is it going? Again, don't forget, Rabbi Yonah is on a linear level. How far up does my tshuva go? Where does it really affect and change things? All the way up by the kisei hakavod, the Rameir. Rameir saw this. You can daven, listen to this, you can daven, this is what the Gemara says. Buriah told him, you can daven for somebody to do tshuva. Why? Because over here it's all, we're individuals and b'chira chavshis, and what is it, my davening for you to do tshuva? That doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't really make any sense. So Marsha says it doesn't make any sense to him. Marsha says. But it does make sense if you understand that the tshuva goes up to the kisei hakavod, and I'm getting it from there. We're all getting new energy. Because there's a place where you and I are connected at the hip, or our neshamas are connected. The goof that we have, the nefesh, is what separates us. See what it means when two people are not getting along, when there's no achdus in the world, it means that we're too much into the nefesh. The only place to be misached, I would say further, I'm saying this on a very practical level, the only chance that Klali Yisrael has for achdus is up here in the world of Neshama Klali. It's too different over here. Too much individual, too much ego. It's hard. If we can tap into a higher place, then you can have achdus with everybody, anybody, because you know what? We're all in the same Neshama. If you can get back there, the only chance we have, I think, is to talk about the Neshama Klali, which is why, let's say, people like Rav Kokol of Shalom wrote books about this. wrote books about Neshama Klali. This is the key to the whole thing. So that's one thing Rameir said. Rameir Omer, Gedoyla Teshuva, Gedoyla Teshuva. Gemara says, Pei Vav and Beis. When you do tshuva, Moichlin Yachid she'asa tshuva, Moichlin l'chol ha'olam. Yachid she'asa tshuva, Moichlin l'chol ha'olam. Wie kann das sein? How could it be? Yachid she'asa tshuva, Moichlin l'chol ha'olam. So look here in the Gemara, in Yuma. So there's a Gillian Ashas, it's Rabbi Akiva Eiger. Rabbi Akiva Eiger is not often Mofia in the Nefesh Hachaim shir. Rabbi Akiva Eiger says, Yachid sha'asa tshuva, Moichlin l'chol ha'olam. So he says, Haramami Pano, the Ramami Pano, says Rabbi Akiva Eiger, B'maimer Chikar Din, Chelak Aleph, Parak Dalet, Kasuv Pirush. This is what he writes to Rabbi Akiva Eiger. The Ramami Pano. The Ramak, Moshe Kardavaro, is the Rabbi of the Arizal. A little bit of, here's a quick history lesson. What do you want? Okay, Here. Slicha. The Ramami Pano was a Talmud of Rav Moshe Kardavaro. When he died, at the age of 48, so the Arizal was Maskedim. The Arizal died 5 years after him in Sfas. So he was Maskedim, and he said on the Ramak, Moiriv Rabbi. The Ramak, Rav Moshe Kardavaro, and others came from Italy to Eretz Yisrael and Sfas. And a lot of people were left behind. A lot of Gedolim were left behind. Interesting Italian Gedolim. So I was going to try to imagine it. The Italian Gedolim. they were clean shaven. Italians. Yeah.
Universities.
Yeah. Universities. The Ramchal was later, but then the Ramchal was same type of idea. It's 1540. So what happened was the Spanish expulsion and affected Italy eventually, and most of them came from Italy to Eretz Yisrael. So when Rabbi Yosef Karo was one of them, and Rabbi Yosef Karo came to Eretz Yisrael, also moved to Tzfas with the Arizal and the Ramak, and he wrote his magnum opus, which was not the Shulchan Aruch, which was the Beis Yosef, Yosef Karo. Beis Yosef, the Beis Yosef on the tour is where the Shulchan Aruch comes from. When he wrote the Beis Yosef, poor people in Sfas, they hardly had what to eat. So how's he going to get this out? So the Beis Yosef contacted a friend of his still from Italy by the name of Rabbi Zaria Minha Dumim, it was called, the doctor. He was a friend of the Beis Yosef. And Zaria Minha Dumim, he was called Minha Dumim because he lived in a Christian neighborhood. And he was a doctor and a Talmud Chacham, controversial in history, but he was a Gevir. And the Beis Yosef contacted Rabbi Zaria Minha Dumim from Edom, He lives mamish near the Vatican. Mina Dumim, and he said, I wrote the Beis Yosef, and I need to print the Beis Yosef. The printing in Italy was still, I'm a bit of a bucky on this subject, publishing. The publishing in Italy was still mutter to do. The church eventually answered everything because in Italy and in Venice, because there was Tfus Venezia and Tfus Bologna. There was a lot of Tfusim in Italy. And then one person printed the Rambam, and another Jew printed a different Rambam, and it was competing with the first Rambam. So the guy with the first Rambam went to the church and told them that, hey, he's printing illegally. And they closed down the whole Tfus of Klali Yisrael. Kamsa bar Kamsa. Like that's what happened. They burnt all the they went to Venice, the Jewish ghetto. Probably many of you have been there. And they took every sefer that they could find. That's where the Jews lived. And then they went to Rome to the ghetto and they burnt them all. In Venice, you can go visit the place where all the Svarim were burnt. In Rome, this was all because one Jew massacred another Jew. Islam, this Masira happens to be on my head, Masira. But I'll go upon him. Let's just go back to the story just so you get the history. So Rabbi Zarya min Haludim said that the way to get your Beis Yosef printed, can't print in his city, is to let's contact the Ramah Mipano, who was the former Talmud of the Ramak. And he told the Beis Yosef, I'll contact the Ramah Mipano. Fano is a city in Italy also, Fano. And I'll contact him, and he was a rich Kabbalist, a rich Makubal, and he'll pay for it. So he was Makabal to pay for the printing of the Beis Yosef. The Ramah Mipano edited, did the typesetting. It was a go nador, and he printed the Beis Yosef. So Zachar Oisa Ish L'Toyv, the Ramah Mipano, besides for his own godless, he printed the Beis Yosef. And when the Ramak was nifter around that same time, because he had a connection with Sfas, so he gave a huge amount of money to the almana of the Ramak, of Ramosha Cordovaro, in exchange for for the Pardes Rimonim of the Ramak, for the manuscripts of the Ramak. And he bought them, he bought the schusim to it, and he edited them, and he printed all of that also. So many svarim that we have came from the Ramak, and he wanted a way to support the alman of the Ramak. So it was a tremendous thing. So he wrote a sefer called Chikar Hadin, which obviously Rabbi Akiva Eiger was a bucky in the sefer Chikar Hadin. Like most people probably didn't even hear the sefer, right? So Rabbi Akiva Eiger, so I wanted to look it up, but this is what he says. He says, first of all, just an interesting thing. Haramami pano b'maimer Chikar Hadin chelak aleph perek daled. So it's not there. I looked into it because finally I found. It's just you see how careful you have to be. Maimer Chikar Hadin chelak aleph perek yud daled. So they made a mistake, and they took the I guess the streichel before the yud before the dal, and they figured that he just made Rabbi Akiva Eiger just made a line. It was a yud. It probably wasn't Rabbi Akiva Eiger's mistake, but you can look and not find it. But you have to have the patience to go further and see. And says Rabbi Akiva Eiger, you look over there, and you'll understand what Rameir meant when he says that one person Yachid Shas Teshuva Meichlan L'chol Ha'olam Kulay. Chol Ha'olam, not even to every Jew. Meichlan L'chol Ha'olam Kulay. So says the Rabbi. Here's the lashon of the after my over elaborate introduction. He talks here in this Parak Yud Daled about Bechlal, that when you do tshuva, the tshuva goes up to the Kisei HaKavod and affects all the neshamas, neshama Klali. Ukvar Nisayru Chazal, I'm just reading his words. Ukvar Nisayru Chazal, Chazal already made the point. That's our Gemara. By the way, this was sent over by our Zutra Bar Tuvia in the name of Rab. And the Zayar, it's the name of Rameir. So they have different Kabbalists who said this, but it doesn't make any difference for our purposes. Farnisayru Chazal, that's why he says it like that. Amru shebishvil yachid shasa tshuva k'goyin zu, in that case, Meichlin l'chol ha'olam kulei pirush. What does it mean? How could it be? Chelkam bivris ha'olah liyosim arevim zel lezeh. Hu hanimchol b'schusay. Anybody want to make a landing on this with me? Gaval. Pirush, what does it mean? Person does tshuva. Pirush. Chelkam bivris ha'olah. What's the bris ha'olah? We know about the bris ben absar. We know about bris milah. So I tell you what it means. Is that in another week we're going to read. Another week or two we're going to read Parshas Nitzavim. And Parshas Nitzavim, it could be you go through every year and B'chlal don't understand what it means altogether. It's usually connected to Vayelach, so we just want to get out of here, Nitzavim Vayelach. Atem Moshe Rabbeinu says like this. He's teaching unbelievable Yisai. He says to Klali Yisrael just before he dies. He says, Atem Nitzavim Hayoim Kulchem. You are all standing here together. Lifnei Hashem Elokeichem. Where? I just said the only chance we have for Achdus is up here, in the world of Bria. I don't think here it's difficult. Lifnei Hashem Elokeichem. Who? Rosheichem, Shiftechem, Zikneichem, Shoitreichem, Kol Ish Yisrael. Taptchem, Neshechem, Gercha Asher B'Karav Machanecha, Choyte Veitzecha, Atshoy Meimecha. You're all standing together to do what? You're all one. That's what he was teaching. La'avrecha bevris Hashem Elokecha uve'alasai. In the bris, this is what is called the bris ha'olam. It's a crazy thing. If you read this every year, we're talking. This Moshe Rabbeinu was teaching here a new chiddush l'gamri about understand you're all connected. Water carriers, Rosh Yeshivas, everybody. It's all connected. Lifnei Hashem Elokecha la'avrecha, because you're all together. Moshe Rabbeinu was megala, the side of Sidais. La'avrecha bevris Hashem Elokecha uve'ay la'olasai, and in his Allah, the bracha and the klala that we talked about in this week's parsha of Kisava. Asher Hashem Elokecha kairis himcha hayayim. Man hakim eischa hayayim loy la'am. This is how you become one people. V'hu yelecha Elokim. Kasher diber la, kasher nishbar la v'yisecha la'Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. This is the Yesod he was telling them, the last words he says before he was nifter. This is the Yesod of everything, that you're all in one bris since the time of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. That's all Allah says. I don't even mean you people that are standing here with me, begashmias. Guess asher yesh no poim anu ayim lifnei Hashem Elokeinu ves asher nenu poim anu ayim. Because the neshamas are not totally in who happens to be alive right now and who's not. So it's who was and who is and who will be. It's all connected in one neshama. And he goes on and on and on. And this is the beautiful, every word, beautiful of Moshe Rabbeinu, the beautiful words of Moshe Rabbeinu in Parshas Nitzavim. From here, it's from these psukim that we learn Arvus. Arevus, Kol Yisrael Arevim sells that. What? I'm Arev, I can make a bracha, Rabbi Yitzchak is Yaitz the bracha. Why? Because a bracha is in the bechina of Dibur. I can't think for you. A bracha is in the bechina of Dibur. Dibur is connected to the Ruach, which goes up to the Neshama, and the Neshama goes up to the Neshama HaKlali. And since it goes up to the Neshama HaKlali, so now on that level, I can be one with you. That's where Achdus has to take place. Real Achdus has to take place in the Olam of Neshama. So what does it mean? Says the Ramami Pano. There's no other way to understand the Gemara. The Gemara says that I can do tshuva, not just I can make a bracha and be by you, but I could do tshuva. I'm changing the source of all life. I'm making a dent in the source of all life, which is in the Neshama HaKlali. And of course, Nimchal Chol Elokut doesn't mean everybody doesn't have to do tshuva, but it means that I've changed the source. I've changed the pool from everything where everything is coming from, I've changed the whole energy of the world. One person doing tshuva. One person doing tshuva. I remember, as a kid, that Rav Schwab, remember Rav Schwab? Rav Schwab said in 1967 war, he said that before the 6 Day War, as it started, he says not to worry, there's a Baal Tshuva movement beginning. It was unbelievable. He said this, it was the movement of Baal Tshuva are changing the pool such in Shemayim. What was it? 100, 500, 1,000 people having a service for Tshuva in the 60s. In the 60s. But it was like, they say, like, if you remember the 60s, you were never really there. But I remember the 60s. It was like it was a crazy, crazy world. It was like crazy. But somehow or another, from that came out a whole Tshuva movement, because the establishment didn't mean anything, and jobs didn't mean anything, and Parnassa didn't mean anything, and authority figures didn't mean anything, and presidents of the United States didn't mean nothing meant anything. Vietnam, nothing. Everything was just a bunch of LSD. So I can remember as a kid, like walking around like LSD. Let's start davening. I remember walking around with the sign, and the whole Matthias wife. Let's start davening LSD. As Rav Schwab, he said that this koach, which is evaporating ad la shomayim, I only understand enough. It's something you hear beyond Kusa, which evaporated all the way out to Shemayim, is affecting the Neshama Klali of Klali Yisrael, and nothing will affect the success of Eretz Yisrael more than that. So we'll have tremendous miracles. Nobody knew that the war is going to be 6 days or 60 days, or we're going to lose. And when the Berlin Wall came down, many years later, the Berlin Wall came down, Rav Schwab said to his Olam and Shul, he says, this is the same thing. The Koach of the Baal Tshuva, same thing. Like he said it yesterday. He says, I refer you to my remarks before the 6 Day War. So so says the Ramami Pano, Parak Yud Dal. It says the Ramami Pano, even the Oiz V'Haber says it wrong. The Ramami Pano, that this is how it is. This is what it means when the Gemara says, Nisayru Chazal understood that when one person does tshuva, you're not just fixing yourself, you're not just making your life better, you're not just making schusim for yourself, you're not even just connecting to your own neshama, you're going up even further to the neshama haklali umisham. You're going to change the whole world. So that's Parshas Nitzavim, that's the Ramami Pano. And let's just conclude by just reading these 3 words again in the Nefesh Hachaim. It says the Nefesh Hachaim, the goyrem, by doing tshuva, everything is going le'ela u'le'ela. The goyrem sheyisatzel toisefes kedusha mimenu yisbarach shemoy, and you were goyrem that there's a whole new level of kedusha, a whole new energy from above coming into this world, and it's going how high? Ad shayresh haneshama. So Ruchaim Volozhin is already bavarding the Ramami Pana. Tchila, that's where it goes first. Umisham, and it's only from there. Umisham l'nishmasai, to your own personal neshama, v'ruchai. And then what happens? V'ruach mavik oirei hagadol. This ruach is filled with the aura of the neshama and the aura of the neshama klali, and it's all coming into so tshuva does. It's all coming into me. I've reconnected. I mean, we should really look different. Chachmas adam toyer pana. We should look different. We should feel different. The Yisurim say that on Motzei Yom Kippur, that if you did everything correctly, you feel a simcha she'ein kamayu ba'olam. The Seif Ne'ilah. The Seif Ne'ilah, what is it? You're fasting, you're banging, you're clapping, you're this. Simcha's not all good, we're going to eat. Nobody wants to eat. Who wants to eat on Motzei Yom Kippur? People want to dance. Motzei Yom Kippur. It's an unbelievable explosion of joy, and that 2 minutes of joy before we get to Mariv when we say before you get to that 2 minutes of pure joy, no chatoyin, no anything, where there's a rikud, That is the whole new line, the whole new kedusha which has come into us on Yom Kippur. Mitzad Shizkashu Shenishar Adai Mechayim. L'chaloi sulahatem akoiches haro madregas hatuma. We've just pushed away, that kedusha has pushed away every koach hatuma. Ulahoitzi mi maskir asir, and we've been let out of jail. We've just been sprung. Right now we are under the shlita. Before the tshuva, we're under the shlita of koiches hatuma, of klipa. That's how we're living. You have to be sensitive enough to feel it. L'hoitzi mi maskir asir. And now all of a sudden I'm out of jail. I am a free person. That's what we're dancing about. Lachsar l'kashem kabarishayna im bechinos haruach, because it's all hooked up and it's all aligned, and the whole Klali Yisrael has from one person's tshuva. So imagine a tzibur does tshuva, a city does tshuva, a Ninbei does tshuva, a Klali Yisrael does tshuva, a Baal tshuva movement. I mean, the whole world is a different place. The whole world is a different place, and it's not a sociological thing that's going on over here. This is going on. That's where the actus takes place, all the way in Shabbat. Good night, Shabbos. Baruch atah
It seems there has been an idea that by God they don't say it yet, they don't have the shop. So what's going on over there?
Going to do tshuva. No. They can do tshuva, Rabbi Yonah tshuva. They can't do this. Because this Moshe has to do without the mix of the apple.
So when we do tshuva, like a yofish has a tshuva, that's more of a
Who's it going? Because you change the world. The point is you change the world, but they can't